Your e-commerce business should be using email marketing not because it's a trend, but because you are missing out on serious amounts of revenue on autopilot. I'm going to dissect email marketing in a way you've never heard it before. This video is full of actionable steps, so it's best to have a pen handy. I'm Sky, an email marketing strategist. I'm damn good at what I do. That's really the only intro that I need, so let's get straight into this. So what is email marketing? It's a platform that collects your subscribers, sends out emails either as a one-off email, usually called an email campaign, or your emails will be sent as part of an email automation. So for example, if your subscriber abandons their checkout, they'll go into an email automation funnel, which will send them a series of emails to follow up on their abandoned checkout and entice them to make a purchase. This is just putting it simply. But throughout this video, I'm going to explain it in a different light to what you may have heard before. And by the end of this video, you should have a good understanding of what email really is and how to utilize it in your business right now. So what email service provider should you use? An ESP is a platform you will use to manage your email marketing. There are numerous platforms out there, but I do recommend looking into what your sales platform integrates well with first, and then start looking into what works for your business. A hot tip though, I would avoid built-in email systems within your sales platform. So an example of this is Shopify, Wix, Squarespace, Kajabi. These all have their own built-in email services, but they are just not at the level these independent ESPs are at. And you will soon want to move over to a more advanced one, so just save yourself the hassle. Here are a few ESPs I highly recommend. First is Klaviyo. If you are a product-based business on Shopify or WooCommerce, this is the one you should be using. Active Campaign is great for service-based businesses. They have a really high-tech CRM involved. The next three are very similar to Active Campaign, but a little bit on the cheaper side, which is ConvertKit, Drip, and Campaign Monitor. And lastly, if you're looking for an alternative for Klaviyo, OmniSend works well for that. Now let's get into the guts of what we're really here for and how can you be successful in email marketing as an e-commerce brand. Before I start explaining the ins and outs of this, you first need to understand how to be successful in email. And it is normal for business owners, really of any size, to start collecting emails, send inconsistent email campaigns, set up basic email automations delivering usually just a discount code, and then wonder why the hell email isn't performing in their business. This comes down to one thing, which is sender reputation. And this is the only thing that matters in email marketing to be successful. If your sender reputation is bad, email clients like Gmail will put you straight into the spam folder and at times will even block your emails from arriving in the subscriber's mailbox, period. So how do you maintain a good sender reputation? I'm going to keep this simple for now, as I will touch on your metrics in much more greater detail at the end of this video, but your sender reputation is based around your deliverability and your engagement metrics. Your deliverability metrics are your unsubscribe, your spam, and your bounce rate, where your engagement is your open and your click rates. To keep these metrics healthy, you have to know how to nurture and continue to engage with your subscribers so they are engaging with your emails and not unsubscribing or even worse, marking them as spam. The best example of this is when a business only sends email campaigns, so those one-off emails. They have no set frequency in place and only send emails to their whole list when they have a business update, like a new arrival or a sale. Their subscribers may not have heard from them for, let's say, a few weeks or even months, and then they get hit with email updates from the business. Majority of the time, the subscriber has completely forgotten who that business is, and they're so much more likely to unsubscribe or mark as spam. But the business keeps on going and sending those inconsistent emails, and soon enough, the email client, like Gmail, registers the inconsistency, the low open rates, the low click rates, the low unsubscribe, the spam complaints, and mark you as a bad sender. So what does this mean for you, and what should you do to be successful in email marketing? Simply, you need a strategy, but for both your email campaigns and your email automations. I know that the word strategy can be a scary word, but it simply comes down to knowing your customer journey and staying top of mind with your subscribers by showing up in their inbox frequently. And this brings me to your email marketing structure. To really understand where to start with email marketing, you first need to know the structure of the platform, which is made up of 4 key areas. The first being your sign-up forms, also known as your lead magnets. Your second being your lists and segments. This is where your subscribers sit. Third, your email automations, which are your funnels. And lastly, your email campaigns, which are your one-off email newsletters. You want these areas all working together to create a strong email marketing structure. I'm going to break them all down in detail so you can action this now within your email service provider. The first area of this structure is your sign-up form. The beginning of the email marketing structure starts with collecting email addresses through a sign-up form, which is your lead magnet. You need to offer something of value to the potential customer in order for them to give you their personal details. A discount or a freebie is the way to do that. Online customers honestly expect this and could be a quick turning point for them to choose your competitor over you. I get this question a lot, which is, I don't want to offer a discount. It either makes the business look cheap or I just can't afford to do that. Firstly, the way you present your offer is the way the customer will perceive it. And if offering a straight up discount just doesn't work for your brand, simply changing it to a free gift with purchase or a free guide to XYZ is always an option. As I said before, you need to add value to your customer. So what is valuable to your customer? Secondly, if you cannot afford a discount for your customer, then your products are priced wrong, or you just don't know your numbers. Everything comes down to the cost of acquiring a new customer, and there are so many factors, paid and unpaid, that go into this, including your salaries, your tools, your paid marketing, your overheads, and most importantly, your time as a business owner. It's fair to say that offering a small discount honestly won't break the bank, and the business will actually benefit by having the new customer within the business funnel. The second part to your structure is your lists and segments. You should only have one email list, and this is where all your subscribers are based, while segments enable you to create smaller targeted audiences which are pulled from the main list. Having multiple lists is a common mistake that's made in email marketing all the damn time, and it becomes very hard to manage your subscribers, optimize deliverability, view your overall list growth data, and maintain a clean list. My rule to all of my clients is one main list and hundreds of segments. Honestly, just go gangbusters. Segments are honestly the best tool in email. You can create segments based off customer information, purchase history, their engagement with your emails and on the website. You can use segments to get greater insights into your business, and then you can also create segments to send targeted email campaigns to as well. The main segment you should have set up in your business is called an engaged segment. Usually a 90-day engaged segment is the most common, and this is the segment that you will send majority of your email campaigns to, not to your whole list. What this does is keep your sender reputation healthy, and your email automations will take care of your unengaged subscribers. I also have a whole video here that walks you through how to build an engaged segment. I'll also pop it in the description below so you can access it again at the end of this video. Email automations. This is honestly my favorite part about email because I am a data loving freak. But to put it simply, email automations are your funnels, which is a series of emails that a customer receives if they have triggered the funnel. So for example, if a customer is a new subscriber, they will go through a welcome automation. Email automations are endless, and you can create as many as you like, and for many different reasons. But it can honestly be very, very overwhelming when first starting out with your email marketing. So I'm going to give you the 5 essential automations that every single business needs to set up first. First is your welcome automation, and this is going to nurture your new subscriber who has never made a purchase. The second is your abandoned checkout, which nurtures and engages the subscriber to make a purchase, being that they are a customer or they've never made a purchase with you. The third is your post-purchase. This is going to engage the customer and build trust. Your fourth is your win-back automation. It's going to re-engage lapsed customers. And lastly is your sunset. And this one here is to re-engage unengaged subscribers and exit subscribers from the system, which is completely normal practices, and it's to keep your list clean. Unfortunately, we can't win them all, and it is normal for subscribers to no longer be interested in us as a brand. What these 5 automations do is capture every aspect of your customer journey, which is to nurture, engage, and re-engage. For more information on how to build these automations, I pop links in the description below. These are documents from Klaviyo, but they can also be converted to any other ESP. Email campaigns. This is usually the one that majority of business owners start with, and this is where we can make a lot of mistakes for our sender reputation. So email campaigns are your one-off emails, so also known as a newsletter or a broadcast emails. It really depends on what ESP you're using. They are not part of your email automations. There's a lot you can do with email campaigns, but as you are new to email marketing, you should focus on sending one email campaign a week as a minimum and only send to your engaged segment. This keeps you consistent in the subscriber's inbox and helps keep your sender reputation high. And remember, this is what gets you into the inbox and out of the spam, or it just keeps you out of the spam. Your email campaigns could feature things like new arrivals, restock items, product highlights, sales, product education, giveaways, really anything that is going on in the business. At this point of filming, I'm actually in the middle of creating a mini course on how to create an email campaign strategy and a 12-month content calendar. If you want to know more, I have a waitlist in the description below, and I will replace that with the direct link when it's available. I know that email campaigns can seem like a very large and heavy thing to do in your business, especially when you start looking at all of your email segments and all the things that you need to send. And this course is going to cover every single intricate detail so that you can have a successful campaign strategy. Now you understand the technical side of email marketing, let's get to the creative side, which is your email design. And email design doesn't require a professional, nor does it have to be complex. What it does need is brand consistency and a very clear message. The goal of email design is to entice your subscriber to click and continue their experience on your website. So here are a few examples of great email designs that can easily be replicated. First, we have Linktree, and they open up with a very bold color, and it's actually also a GIF, that hero image there. They have a lot of native text throughout their emails, which is highly recommended, especially if you're starting out in email. Native text is text that is not on an image, that is actually typed into the back end of your ESP that works hand in hand with your images to create a nice flowing email. Leica is a pet food company that I think do a fantastic job when it comes to their email campaigns. They are a little bit more on the text heavy side, but they're very smart about the way that they lay this out with very clear headings. Everything is very visually appealing and makes you want to scroll further down the page. All of the smaller text that you see here in the paragraphs, they are using native text. So this is not an image. They have very clear CTA buttons, which are your call to action buttons. So in this case, they're nice and bright and orange and popping out of the page. Toiletries use a lot of imagery, but the type of imagery that they use is very educational on how to actually use their products. So they may be very image heavy. They use very good headings in their hero images at the top, and they're also using native text throughout the emails. So this is a good example. If you are more of a visual brand, this design could work really well for you. INH do a really good job of a sale email. It's punchy, it's to the point. The hero image speaks directly to what the discount is, and there's a very clear CTA button under that. If the subscriber then continues to scroll, they can see other ways to shop the sale rather than taking them over to a different page and something that's not relevant to the sale. And the last email that I have for you here is by Who Gives a Crap. And these guys do very beautiful, visually appealing emails with tons and tons of native text. They use their imagery and background colors to really pop out what the product is, to create that humor and entice the subscriber to keep on scrolling, but always delivering a place where they can click through with their CTA buttons. Everything about the designs we just went through follows a simple structure, which is a clear hero image, a clear message, and a clear CTA, which is all above the fold. Above the fold means that when you open your device or you open on your phone or your desktop, that you don't need to scroll to see that information without having to scroll. Most of the emails follow this structure, and then what happens underneath their hero image can really change up depending on what type of email it is. And this is where email templates become really important. And every single business I recommend should have between 3 to 5 email templates, and this is going to depend on your business. Now, I'm sure this feels like a lot and a little bit overwhelming on the design side of things, but I have the best tool to keep you consistent on brand, and it has a selection of email templates you can use right now. It's my email design toolkit, which is 100% customizable using Canva. There's 8 email templates in there, a 13-page email brand guidelines, and a video lesson that walks you through each step of the design process to building your email campaign within your email service provider. I swear by this toolkit, and I actually made it by accident because I needed a structured approach to email design. So trust me, it truly makes email design so simple and very, very quick, and I'll leave the link to that in the description below. The last part to understanding email marketing is the part that nobody likes, which is understanding your analytics. At the beginning of this video, I stressed the fact that your sender reputation needs to be healthy, and the way you assess that is by having healthy deliverability and healthy engagement metrics. So just to recap, your deliverability metrics are your bounce, your unsubscribe, and your spam rate, which need to stay low. And your engagement metrics are your open and your click rates, which need to stay high. But how do you know what is good or bad? You need to know your benchmarks, and there are a few ways to do this. First is your industry benchmarks. So Klaviyo have a great report on this, which I've linked in the description. And when you open up the report, you select your industry on the left-hand side, and it breaks down your engagement metrics for your email campaigns, your flows, and specific flows. So flows is what Klaviyo represent as your automations. Your conversion rate and your revenue per recipient are important, but as a beginner, focusing on your open and click rate is where you need to start. With these two results being high and healthy, so will your conversion metrics, and later down the track, you can worry about those. Within this document, you will notice that email campaigns don't perform as well as your email flows. So it's important to always be looking at these separately rather than under the same umbrella, as you will usually see that the problem is in one area, say with your campaigns, which are bringing down the results of the other area, let's say that's your automations. So you can diagnose a problem quicker by looking at these metrics separately. Next is your standard benchmarks. So this is just a starting point, and it's not specific to an industry. So while you're getting an understanding of email and the results, using both your industry and your standard benchmarks to help you understand your own metrics is really good starting point. And this will also help you understand your deliverability benchmarks, which is your bounce, spam, and your unsubscribe. And lastly, this is something that only Klaviyo offers, and it's a peer group benchmark. So when you're in your settings in Klaviyo, you can set an industry. What this does is Klaviyo puts you into a peer group of 100 businesses alike. From here, you can assess where you sit in the industry and use these as your benchmarks to diagnose problems and create a strong email marketing machine. This is honestly my chosen way to look at my benchmarks, and I also love jumping onto the industry report to also get an understanding of what other industries are doing. If this feels overwhelming and you need help moving through each step, check out my email marketing course for Shopify and Klaviyo. I literally hold your hand through every step as you follow along directly from my screen. Hopefully this video has brought you clarity around email marketing and honestly how important it is to have a good sender reputation by nurturing and engaging with your customers regularly rather than just sending out those random email campaigns. Honestly, email is the most successful organic marketing platform, and it brings in $36 for every dollar spent. So this is just not a platform you want to be sleeping on. I really hope you can take something from today's video and start implementing it in your business, and I'll see you in the next video.